What's going on, everybody? I'm Logan with Iowa Timber Freaks, and it's about time to get out and do some shooting. I've done a little bit this summer, but not as much as I need to be doing. And this video is just going to be kind of me going over my bow, my setup, and why I still use what I use. I don't have a brand new bow that costs $3,200 all set up. I'm just not that kind of guy. I got a setup that I've been using for a really long time, and I just wanted to show it to you guys so that way, if you're new to this or thinking about getting into it, you don't feel pressured to have to go out and buy an extremely expensive bow just to get started. So gonna put in some groups today, just bring up some things that I've been doing and things that I'm looking forward to this coming fall. So it's right around the corner. It's almost September. I got a couple cameras out, but I'm not too worried about getting a bunch of cameras out because I got a really good inventory last year and I have a pretty good idea what should be out there. So I'm just trying to kind of sit back, stay out of my best spots, and just let the deer that I know that should be there just enjoy it and be there, and hopefully they can just show up and we can connect with one of them this fall. So things might be changed a little bit. I might be losing some property. I might be gaining some property. We'll figure all that out as it comes up. But as of right now, I still got spots on. I still got bucks I'm after, and I'm excited. So without further ado, let's just start shooting some groups. First one looks good. 20 yards, so far so good. So the bow I'm using is a Mathew's Q2. I think I've had like 14 seasons with it. It's an old bow, real old. I think like came out in 2001 or 2002 or something like that. So I've killed a ton of deer with it. I've killed a lot of really nice bucks with it. I've killed some really big bucks with it. And I mean, I've just never had an issue. I shoot fixed blades, usually Montex or Muzzies sometimes, but I'm always a fixed blade guy. And this bow, I don't know what it is, but it shoots fixed broadheads really well. And I've just never really had any issues. And not saying that I haven't had weird things happen where I've missed deer or hit them where I wasn't aiming, because that has happened, but it wasn't necessarily due to the broadhead setup or anything like that. My string actually catches either on some clothing or something like that. But in all the years that I've hunted with it, it's never really let me down, other than as far as error on just my behalf. So I think I bought it back in 2010 probably or something like that, for $400. And obviously I've replaced like the sights and stuff like that, new arrows and all that. It used to have where the quiver was on it and attached to the bow, but it reduces the noise by taking that completely off. And I don't know, it just shoots really well for me. I've shot some deer at 50 yards with it. I've shot deer, I don't really ever shoot deer at 50 yards, but sometimes every once in a while I'll shoot a doe or something if she's real comfortable, she's not alert or anything. But the highest percentage of my shots come usually right at that 30-yard mark or closer. I don't know why, and maybe it's probably has something to do with how I set up my stands and stuff, but I don't have any issues shooting longer than that. I rarely shoot past 30 yards, and I've never had any issue with deer jumping the string on this bow, even though it is fairly louder than most newer bows. I will say that. I'm not here to say that this is better than any of those new bows by any means, but it still gets the job done, so I'm not going to change it until, I don't know, maybe one of the limbs explodes, I guess. But knock on wood, hopefully she just keeps running true for me, and yeah, I'm not going to change it up. I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm sure there's some of you out there that still use older bows. Maybe you guys are, skeptical about even bringing it up, but, I'm not scared to bring it up. I can show you all the deer and all the successes I've had with this bow in particular. So It's got it's put in its time, and it's definitely done the job. So I'm not going to change it. At this point, I just don't need to. I'm sure I will buy obviously a different bow at some point, but as of right now, I'm still riding this one out. It's a great bow. It's worked great for me. Well, it appears that it's hitting slightly to the right. Every one of those, I was aiming for the dots. First one, I don't know, second, third, whatever, but they're all on the right. So probably have to move it a little bit to the left. Just kidding. I have to move it to the right. Well, it appears that it's hitting a little right, so I'm gonna go back, move the pins over to the right, and put a couple more groups down. Still a little bit to the right, I think. A little bit to the right. Looked like a decent group. Yeah, just a touch to the right still. Probably have to move that again, but as you guys can see, being that old of a bow, 24 years old or whatever it is, he still shoots pretty good. Don't underestimate something that's older if you can just take good care of it and get used to it. You know, that make a big difference. Honestly, I try to, you know, I ask a lot of questions of guys that are way more into it obviously than I am. When I first started, I had no idea about anything archery related. I didn't even know all the stuff that went into it. I went to Walmart, bought some arrows. I got a bow from a buddy, just went after it. So kind of learned a crude way, but either way, I've been successful. I think I learned a lot real quick, you know, doing it all on my own pretty much, but it's a fun sport, and I don't want anyone to think that you have to have a ton of money just to get into it. Nice little tip and reminder is, even if you're one of those guys that doesn't shoot very much, or you shoot a bunch and you know you're working on it all off season, you're really getting things dialed in, it never hurts to go over and make sure that your sights and everything else are tightened up, everything's nice and tight. Because after so many shots, I mean, I've seen it with this bow, and it might be better with newer bows, but things just kind of come loose after so many shots, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shots. So just go over your equipment, you know, before every hunt, basically, just to make sure everything's tight, so that way you don't get out there and get surprised with like a loose sight or a loose rest or anything like that. Made one micro adjustment. Well, I guess that'd be the second one now. See if we can get it a little bit better. Oh, that sounded like flat cheeks. Looks like it came over. Looks like it's pretty much where it needs to be now. Maybe just a touch high, but I'm probably not quite at 20 yards. Well, that last one, I felt it. I tweaked it just slightly to the right. At least now my nocks are full of dirt. Yeah, this was the first three. This is the last one. I felt that when I pulled it just a little bit. That's better. A lot closer than it was. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna, you know, from this point forward, gonna probably be shooting for sure every weekend. Probably shooting at least 30 to 50 arrows. Just to, you know, be ready. Got to keep them muscles tuned up and make sure don't get surprised about not being able to draw the bow back or nothing like that. But I'm only shooting 70 pounds. I've been shooting it obviously for a long time. Eventually, when I do get a new bow, I probably will up my poundage to like 80 pounds or something. So, but 70 pounds works pretty good for me. And like I said, As of right now, still around the old Q2. Well, that's all I kind of wanted to touch on today. Just shoot a couple groups, get ready for the season coming, and make sure the muscles are ready for it. I like to shoot every weekend from this point forward, at least every weekend, and maybe get some weekdays in there if I can. Working out of town a lot, so it's kind of hard to do that, but yeah, I try to, at least 30 to 50 arrows every weekend, and practicing those yardages that you're going to most likely be shooting. 20, 25, 30, 35, even 40 for me, but today I just focused on 20. Just wanted to make sure that my top pin was where it should be after leaving it for a season, and it was pretty close. It's ridden around in the back of the truck a little bit here and there, got bounced around a little bit, I'm sure, but it shot good today, and hopefully just can keep rocking this thing until who knows when. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can do it with a budget bow, and don't wait. Get out there, go try things out for yourself. Who knows, maybe you'll find one just like this or even cheaper, and you'll shoot great with it. It doesn't have to be some super expensive crazy thing. And a lot of these older bows, anything newer than 2009 even, I mean, those are still going to be good bows if they were taken care of. So get out there, go see if you can find one in a pawn shop or something, or even at your local archery shop. You might be surprised what you can pick up. But let me know what you guys use, if there's anyone out there using any old Q2s or switchbacks or any other brand names that have older bows that you're still rocking. I'd love to hear about it. Love to hear about those success stories that you've had with those bows. But hopefully this year we can add another one to this thing's list. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Appreciate you for watching.